Good morning. Today we're going to talk about a book that I have read, and I think that y'all will like it a lot. Okay, so it is called Not Quite Narwhal. It was written and illustrated by Jesse Sema. That took a long time. I recently also found out that it is also a short series on Netflix, which is pretty cool, and I am very interested in watching it. Um, okay, so this book is intended for grades pre-K through kindergarten, as it was written with 3 to 5 year olds in mind. The major themes in the story are diversity and differences and inclusion and not being left out from a group because you are different. And I think that it teaches a really good lesson to 3 to 5 year olds about being kind and generous and accepting of everybody no matter what. So, a short summary of the book. Kelp is born knowing that he is different from his narwhal friends. His skills, his food preferences, and even his appearance are different from them. But the narwhals don't care that he's different. One day, Kelp is swept to the ocean's surface by a strong current, and he sees a creature that looks like him. He decides to follow it and discovers that he is a unicorn, not a narwhal. They show him new things that he'd never seen or done before. He gets sad, though, and misses his narwhal friends, so he decides to go back and he reveals to them that he is a unicorn. But they tell him that they knew all along, but they don't care. They love him anyways. In the end, he decides that he can't decide if he wants to be on land with the unicorns or in the ocean with the narwhals. So he thinks that he doesn't have to choose at all, and he unites the narwhals and the unicorns at the surface slash shoreline of the ocean, and they live together, and Kelp gets to live and be with both groups. And I will read just a short excerpt from the book because it is 40 pages long, so it's not very short, but I think that you will like it. So it says, Kelp was born deep in the ocean. He knew exact he knew early on that he was different from the other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. A tusk is the horn. He had different taste in food, and he wasn't a very good swimmer. So we can see here that Kelp doesn't like the octopus that the narwhal is eating, and also he's wearing arm floaties, where narwhals don't need arm floaties to swim. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided he wouldn't either. He's just happily living with the narwhals, knowing that he's a little different. That is, until he was swept away by a strong current. I wish I were a better swimmer. There he is, being swept away. Kelp found himself at the surface, closer to land than he'd ever been before. High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like kelp. So he sees the creature high up on the cliff up there. And he thinks that he's seen a creature like that before. And then he realizes that it's him. He looks like that creature. So then, as I said in the summary, that he follows the creature, and that's when he discovers that he is indeed a unicorn and not at all a narwhal. Um, okay, so the reason that I chose this book for this activity is because it does a really good job at including um, diversity and inclusion in the storyline. And also, Kelp is definitely a protagonist because even though he is different than the narwhals, he is still happy living with them. And then when he discovers that he is a unicorn, he enjoys being with them. Um, and then in the end, he unites the two groups so that he can be with both of them and be happy all the time. Um, so I hope that you also will enjoy this book, and I'm gonna go and watch the short series on Netflix, and I will let you know how it goes.